Facilities that make this program possible are provided by the City of Highland Park. Programs are produced independently by members of the community. The City of Highland Park is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of the City of Highland Park.
Joyce.
Hello, I'm Joyce of the Highland Park Senior Producers, and today our guest is Nancy K. Seyfarth. She's been here for 3 generations. Her grandfather was an architect, built 70 homes in the Highland Park North Shore area and 300 in the Chicago area. And she herself is a sculptor, a potter, a
Fire artist.
And she loves the prairie, and she's going to tell you all about this prairie
Sculpture.
sculpture that she did. Sculptured, is there such a word? I don't know, I guess so. Anyway, so we're so pleased to have her today. She's like a celebrity in Highland Park, and we're so glad to have her. Welcome, Mary.
Mary Seyfarth, not Nancy.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, Mary K. Seyfarth. Yeah, where did Nancy come into my head? I don't know. Anyway, it's Mary K. The K is your mother's maiden name.
Mary Kelton Seyfarth.
Seyfarth.
We say Seyfarth.
Oh,
the
Seyfarth.
TH.
Oh, okay. And she's also, she loves ceramics. She's a 3-dimensional artist. She has an is it an FA?
They call it an MFA, Master of Fine Arts, University of Illinois.
At Urbana-Champaign, yes. And she's going to show a 12-minute and describe what she's was a sculpture for. It's called Prairie Sky column, and we're going to show the film of it during this interview. And so, hi, Mary. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for inviting me. Thank you, Highland Park. Yes, here we go. Prairie Sky columns. Let's watch some of this for a minute.
Okay, and then we could come back to it, correct? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, let's start with this.
A few years
we
ago.
Don't see it all at once.
Joyce
as I said, how young you look.
Well, I would keep red hair, but the chlorine in the pool. So that there's a sound.
Red hair.
Can you hear the sound? There's a little sound. I'm talking.
Mary Seyfarth, and I'm from Chicago.
Why don't we hear
I came down here to the University of Illinois to study art and to develop my own art.
No, where's the sound?
Up in the city, I would always often take walks and go to the...
Should we stop it?
No, you won't hear any sound from here.
And,
Okay, but there is sound and people here. This is Jenny Cogan. She was a fellow student at the University of Illinois.
Just our talking, that's correct.
And she wanted visual textures. It was an interesting process. So these are pictures, those are pictures of Chicago.
With red hair, actually.
Yeah, well,
it's
the chlorine's not so good with
water
it.
to air.
And
as
I can
went
take
back
these
and
off.
forth from school to
I
the
don't want to
city,
look.
I said,
And so I'm
something's gotta be
explaining
done
those.
with this sky.
In a
I
studio
can make a
not
work for this.
similar to this, dark room.
And previous summer, before coming to school, I traveled to Mexico and Guatemala, and I looked at the archaeological and architectural ruins of those cultures,
I built
the Mayan
these
cultures,
ceramic
specifically
columns,
Aztec culture.
Minoaniki,
And then in the summer of
Greek,
'85,
like,
it was
Minos, they're wider at
Veluvius,
the
the Roman
top than they
ruins
are
in
at
North
the base.
Africa and Morocco.
And friends helped me put it up, and they
happened to
were
see
to
one
hold
afternoon when I was
that
spending a
magnificent
month there in
prairie
Morocco.
sky down
And
in
this
central
Roman
Illinois.
ruins, with
Really
its
great.
independent
And
Corinthian
everybody
columns sticking up to the
criticized
sky
there.
was
Those
just
are some Roman
marvelous.
columns holding up the
And I've
sky.
been working with
Is it
this
right by
idea.
the university? Or?
That's North Africa right there. But my columns were right off of in the athletic area of the university. Yeah, it was on university grounds. It was a big field.
It's a school.
It's now a parking lot.
And
Maybe it's a
my
building
first year
now.
here,
Who
this
knows?
was the summer of '85.
And I hope
I
the
started
viewers
making
hearing
my own
this, but I know what
Took me
is
all
going on.
year
I built them out of ceramic as I
make
did
them to make
my
them
MFA in
5
ceramics at the university. There's my drawing of the columns.
Oh,
section
very
up to the
nice.
top,
And there they are.
and,
And the bricks on the ground, I
dry, fired them
sequestered from the ceramics engineering department at the University of Illinois and painted a blue, light and dark blue to reflect the sky.
the columns together.
And
they
we did you'll see the dance performance at the end. So Jenny came in with various colors of blue there, Joyce. See how she fades in?
Yeah,
There's the natural,
yeah,
then she fades
yeah.
in with blue like sky.
Earth.
That's the interior of one of the 5 drums.
Medium I wanted to work
They
with
were
here.
monsters, really.
Had I associated
And I learned right on the spot to put fresh clay in between the fired clay as a gasket, like you have to put a gasket on your carburetor or whatever. Otherwise, if it was fired ceramic to fire ceramic, scratchy, scratchy, and they would crack. So you'll see us installing these,
ornamentational, embellishings on the Chicago sky.
and they're gauged from the inside to market. So I had a couple of buddies help me with it, and it was kind of the deal of the late summer there.
Oh,
There we are. And they cracked, but they held together. There I am. See, I'm holding up the sky.
looks like the Tower of
sunset.
Pisa, right?
Yeah, the sunsets in central Illinois are spectacular.
Are
They
they?
rival Acapulco, yes. And
I haven't been there much.
well, it's
Southern
not the
Illinois.
most exciting part of the world, but it is exciting. There's my drawing of them.
Uh-huh.
See, they're 786. There they are.
Oh.
And then the negative space was equal to the positive space. That's my little cutout drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So that the negative between the two was the negative of one of them, And they were hollow, so they were easy, and they stood there until they cracked. I have some of the bricks, actually, at
Oh,
home.
really? Really? Oh.
And then we had a performance there, and it was that's what I do. But my work ranges in the size from a coffee cup to a Prairie Sky column to a brick wall I built out at Navy Pier. I'm a 3-dimensional. I'm good with my hands in the craft world,
Oh.
arts and craft world.
Oh.
So these were there's the sky. And Jenny Cogan was a student and a local producer down in Champaign, and she did this for me.
Oh. Very good.
And here we
Very
go.
good.
Here we are
Oh.
putting them together. It's Jay on the left, and the guy ran a Blind Faith Cafe on the right. He and his wife. They have 2 or 3 kids, and we had to get them they were marked on the inside.
Oh, yeah, it has to be just perfect, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I just built them ring by ring. There's me and the day out in the.
How long did it take, the
Well,
total
it took a
project?
semester to make them.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
my
they're
God.
glazed with a blue Egyptian blue glaze.
Pretty,
And
yeah.
there's the grass.
Yeah.
And they're taller. They're about 7 feet tall. I gauged 7 feet because that's the scale of a doorway, a common standard doorway
Yes, yes.
in a public building. They were built. Our studio was in the ceramic engineering building at the University of Chicago. So you can see they're heavy. I don't know how
Oh,
I made
yes.
these things. So
Yeah.
Ray and Jay got these together. There's little kids coming out and the top one, of course, was the heaviest.
Get it in there, get there. You can't even see it.
And you
hardly
don't want
up
to
there.
drop it on your hand, but I had to put I just learned at the last minute to put that orange gasket. They worked. They were out there for a while. That's
Oh.
just an opening to it.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm talking about the sun coming up on the east and the setting on the west. They had it's in a big prairie. They were monuments to the elements.
What semester were you in at the time?
Pardon me?
What semester in school were you? You're
This is
still.
graduate school.
Oh, graduate. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My second year, I spent 3 years down there, 3 fabulous years.
Oh,
That's where
really?
I learned the foundry arts, too.
Oh.
And you make things in wax and cast metals.
Oh.
But I was there thanks to Don Pilcher, was the head ceramic person there. And you take art history and other designs. It was that 3 years there led me to two summers of excavating in northern Greece,
Oh.
ceramic pots. So these are just soft brick, glazed blue, and I put them around the base of the columns to sort of give it it was like a shadow. Mm-hmm. They're more regular than that. They were the shadow of the column.
Yeah, the blue, goes with the sky real well.
Goes with the sky.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about there. Sun, the flickering bricks of dappling, the sky has a dappled quality to it.
Right.
And previous to this, I had been a studio artist. I spent a year and a half up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, learning to throw pots. And then I came back to the Midwest Clay Guild in Evanston.
Were you always interested in art at a younger age too?
But not as in high school. I was a good athlete. I really didn't pick this up till a little bit later in life.
Oh.
As an English major in fine arts, and I'm glad that the writing is very important.
Right.
Very important. And a lot of potters are artists, are writers, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And then it's led me to do other things. But I feel very comfortable with the vessel. There they are. They're all lined up. I don't even remember how I did all of this work.
It was during the summer. Was it hot out and everything?
That was hot that day, sure. But I mean, I started them back at Christmas time, I think.
Oh, I see.
It took me a couple of months to make the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. A lot of work. What gave you the idea to do that?
Well, I had a good friend. The sky, there was something, a monument to, I used to ride my bike out there and just go out, a monument to the sky, and it was a graduate program, and I wanted to have a big splash graduate piece for my final.
Oh.
And I putting anything on a column, and my visiting artist friend Dimitra, an archaeologist from Greece, and that's how I got to Greece after this, said, "Oh, Mary, make a Minoan Iki," which means King Minos' castle in Crete.
Oh.
So the column is not straight up and down; it's larger at the top and smaller at the bottom. Now, this is Jenny, Cogan's friend. This is where there's the metronome playing, and this is White Street Dancers. Audio picture, and there's a metronome in the grass. There's my car and us, and these dancers did this dance performance with just a metronome going
to
I had celebrate
piano lessons.
Sort of the solstice, really.
We organized 2 other friends. One evening, we had a dance ritual. Chester Walensky and Debbie Noble and Shelley Master.
There's the sun. And I had kind of a tailgate party there. Opened up the back of my car.
What would happen when it rained?
Oh, the ceramic was fine. Only thing ceramics or anything worries about is frozen water. But those were hollow.
Oh.
And I had to take them down after a couple of weeks.
Oh.
It's now a parking lot.
Is it? Oh, have you been there?
Not in that place exactly. Not.
Yeah.
You see how they're doing this? And that was that's a good picture. The red, the blue, the green,
black,
the white, black.
Oh yeah, green.
And that was I cut out little pieces to honor the dancers. I mean, it really kind of comes to me. It's amazing. And after, now 30 years later, you have a real visual vocabulary to draw from. When you're young, you're just doing it.
Right.
After a while, you have a portfolio, which is helpful. And as my concluding lines, it's fun to make something bigger than yourself. You're bigger than your body. I mean, from a cup produced by Jenny Cogan. Lisa Young, Ford.
What is she doing now?
She's probably making films someplace. I'm not sure she's in Champaign anymore, but I'm sure she's probably making films.
Oh, there we are. Was that it then? That's the whole...
That's it.
Oh,
12
very
minutes,
good.
20 seconds.
Very good, yeah. And you've done other things here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about some of them.
Let's see. From the columns, it took me, and we had a wonderful group of people there when I was at Champaign, Ford 87. And the visiting scholars, archaeologists, and a strong Byzantine studies, early Christian studies, scholars who were very interested in ceramics and the ceramic bowls. So Dimitra and Herlambos and Henry and Eunice McGuire and myself and a handful of students, we were invited to Synaxis, Greece, which is in northern Greece, between Kavala and Alexandroupolis, in Thrace, way up north. I mean, the Greeks usually think of northern Greece as the hinterland, because everything goes to Athens.
Oh,
but
right.
this is on the road to Constantinople, and there were several dig sites there.
Yeah.
So we were at a site overlooking the sea, overlooking Samothrace, out in the gorgeous, and then above us were olive trees. And so for 2 summers, I helped clean. We found we found shelves, I mean, trays and trays and trays of broken pottery that were glazed, that had graffito, drawing on it, and putting it back together and organizing and studying the ceramics in pieces. I'm telling you, as a good potter, it's more difficult to glue it back together than to make it.
Really? I imagine. Yeah.
And so the ceramics has been I call it my passport. It has allowed me to, when I travel what I know what I'm looking at, from Guatemala to China, Greece, in various parts of the world, American Southwest. I always go to some place where there's ceramics. And
you like prairies.
And I love the prairie.
Yeah.
Some people are ocean people, some people Prairie Sky column.
Yes.
And some people
got
are
the name.
mountain people.
Yeah.
And just recently, my tendril pod, it's called, was once at the zoo. It's a bronze piece, 5 feet 7 inches. It looked like a prod with a long stalk, spiral, like this. And it was at the Lincoln Park Zoo. As part of their exhibit contest. And then it came back. I've had it in several locations. I did it at the foundry of the School of the Art Institute, where I've worked for a long time. I also taught at the School of the Art Institute, as well as Columbia College for 30 years, running their ceramics department.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So now that tendril pod was in my backyard, and I happened to contact with Jack Schuler, who has a prairie in Lake Bluff called the Schuler Prairie on the grounds of Crabtree Farm, which is one of the great pieces of real estate in the United States.
Really?
John Bryan, who recently died, who helped put together Millennium Park.
Downtown Chicago.
Crabtree Farm was a working dairy, but it's also the home of first-class art, special John's collection of American arts and crafts, Stickley and Ellis. I think he has a great collection of English portraiture, 17th century, an exquisite eye. And the foundry at the Art Institute would do their iron pours up at Crabtree Farm. It is just Google Crabtree Farm, and his partner on the property, and most of this property is under, is protection from conservancy. But Jack Schuler has kept this beautiful prairie, as he told me, a cornfield. They burn it every year, so all the invasive species are gone, and it's just this beautiful prairie of tall grasses, like just reeds, and there's a path that goes through it. I showed him my tendril pod. He liked it, came over to my house, picked it up, put it in the back of a truck, and put it right in the middle of the prairie.
And then,
so I go from prairie to prairie.
And then you said you have something near the Hancock, by the Hancock
I have
building?
some feet.
Yeah, I used to live there.
On the north side of the Hancock building. After walking around the archaeological dig in northern Greece, you walk on a lot of people who came before you. You can hear the earth.
Really? In northern Greece.
Yeah. Well, any archaeological dig.
I see.
You can hear the souls below you.
Really.
So I did a walking foot, stepping out of a boot print, and I have a big cast iron red foot on Delaware Place outside of Hennig Footwear.
Oh, yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Hennig's a
I
friend
know
of
where
mine.
that
He
is. I
sells
lived
shoes.
there
Yeah.
in that building, not in the shoe store, in the building.
Peter sells shoes, I make feet.
Oh, okay.
And so I've worked them around, you know. They're kind of corny, but I'm sincere about them.
Oh,
But
oh.
this big foot,
He has something on Michigan Avenue.
no,
too.
he used to have
He
a...
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then he
I-
moved to the handcuff.
Oh, I didn't
And
know.
I have
must-
another foot.
I must have
on-
moved out by then.
Yeah, I have another foot at the St. James Episcopal Cathedral.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And I've had them out at Navy Pier.
I went to Navy Pier, too.
Yeah,
yeah.
some feet. So it's a sense of... at Navy Pier, every artist would complain, if you go and put a piece of sculpture on Navy Pier, it's a horrifying experience because how do you compete with the sky?
Oh, oh.
And so it's human scale becomes in sculpture, is always your meter.
Oh,
And so I made a big foot to go out into a big place.
oh.
And that's how the feet start. Then I have... So the feet are kind of funny, but they're sincere. You know, we're all pilgrims, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then you go on these digs, and you hear the ancient... You get the soul underneath you. So that's how I work. But also I love the little espresso cup.
Oh,
You know, it's 1 and 1 and 1. Coffee is a big deal these days.
oh, yeah, that's
And it's
insane.
very intimate because it's in your hand, it's in your mouth. People cradle it. People are running against the traffic on Fifth Avenue with a cup of coffee.
In New York, I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
any place.
Yeah, like Starbucks, only if somebody treats me do I drink their coffee.
Strong. Make your own. McDonald's for senior coffee. McDonald's doesn't make a bad cup of coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
So coffee is a big deal.
And now, what's that other place has lattes or something?
Oh, coffee is everything.
Yeah,
Put
I
bourbon
just-
in it too.
Could you?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in my little cups, I say, good for, they're 2 ounces, espresso,
Oh, espresso, that's what they have.
Presso, and good for whiskey too.
Oh,
I know, I'm kind of a cornball, but I enjoy the humor of it.
oh. Have you ever
But
done advertising?
Not professionally.
Oh, oh.
As an artist, you advertise all the time.
Oh,
yourself.
right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So,
Thank you very much. I mean, Highland Park has been, I have a taproot here, 3rd generation. My grandfather was a very significant architect and built some
oh yeah, I took an
houses.
architectural tour and it was all about him.
Yeah, we've had some
Seyfarth. What
tours.
was his first name?
Robert.
He died in 1950, you
Yeah,
said?
he was born in Blue Island.
Oh,
And his ancestors came to this country in 1848.
where did they come from?
Weimar, Germany.
Oh.
And there was some insurrection and revolutions. Europe's always going through a revolution. And we're all immigrants here, right?
Yeah. So,
They landed in Blue Island for one
yeah,
reason or
that's
another.
south. I mean,
It's the
near,
southernmost suburb. It's part of Chicago.
Yes,
but
I
you're
know.
one step over. It's the terminus of Western Avenue.
oh, is it? Oh,
I think Western Avenue is the longest road in Chicago.
yeah, I know. I had a friend 9700 South, and I'd go on, had to take 3 buses to get there
Yeah.
from West Rogers Park. Yeah, you had to keep changing buses along the way.
The best thing about the North Shore is the train. I mean, that's what's made us.
Oh, yeah. Remember the electric train they
My
had?
father used to, Pop-Pop used to take the electric line, they said. And the saying at the house was, we called him Pop-Pop. Pop has gone down the line.
Oh.
Riding the line.
Our friend Susan, her relatives were from Scotland. That's why it runs opposite, because they drive on the opposite side of the street.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
English.
yeah.
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 Yeah. A friend of mine, he got on the first train running, he ended up in Waukegan.
Oh.
He thought he was going...
5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's, Highland Park has been my taproot here. Your
I
friend
love
Susan-
Highland Park. I mean,
Oh, it's a
I'm
knucklehead
new-
place, but it's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're blessed with a beautiful geography. The lake is cleaner. When I was a kid, the lake was not nice.
Really? I've only been
Dirty.
here 20 years, actually.
And now we have a wonderful beach, and Ravinia
yeah.
Park has become even better than it ever was.
Oh, right.
And you can put your bike on the train. You can get
Oh,
someplace.
yeah,
here.
even on a bus, you could put it on the front
Yeah,
of
you
a
can put it
bus.
on a bus. So it is,
Yeah.
in my lifetime, it's gotten better.
Oh, good.
The
good.
services, the social services are terrific.
The only thing that they need more of is more public transportation. But,
Well-
but not that many people ride it. Sometimes nobody.
Sometimes there's nobody on the bus.
Just me sometimes.
I've been on that bus by myself too.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, thank God they do ride it though.
yeah.
They do keep it. And the hospital's good if you need it.
Yes.
Born there, probably end up there.
Oh, I was
And,
at Michael Reese.
And I've had
It's
dogs
not
here.
there.
So I've been lucky to travel.
Oh.
The best thing sometimes is about Chicago is O'Hare Field.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can get out.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I go to Midway often.
Yeah. You know, it's a good airport is we should have the
In
train
Milwaukee?
go to Milwaukee.
I know, I
It's a
know.
wonderful airport.
What's it called again? I forgot the
Billy
name.
Mitchell Field.
Oh, yeah, Mitchell.
I've
Yes,
flown
sir.
out of there to Midwest sites. It's
Oh.
marvelous.
They don't go to Europe or anything, do they?
Oh, it's an international airport.
Is it? Oh, I
I
didn't
flew
know
to
that.
Duluth there. I flew to North Carolina.
Oh,
The train should go right there.
yeah,
So they're working on it, but
yeah.
you know, they're working on it. But
Yeah.
Highland Park is yes,
So
it's
what
a
are
live
you-
and let live kind of
Yeah,
community.
so what are you doing now about your art and everything?
Well, I have two sculptures in Highland Park on Lake Avenue that are owls.
Oh.
Big owls,
Oh.
fabricated bronze. They started in cardboard.
Oh,
I made some cardboard birds because all you need is glue and string and a few tacks, you know.
Oh.
When I didn't have access to a kiln with ceramics, you have to have a lot of equipment.
oh.
It's best to work in a communal studio, as I have. To do it in your basement is dumb
Oh,
and it's dirty.
oh,
So I didn't have that for a few years, so I started working with cardboard.
oh,
It's free.
yeah.
You know, and I made these birds, and then Steve, a neighbor friend, his mother was an ornithologist, loved them. So I have a friend who is a fabricator. I mean, I could do it, but a fabricator, and he translated my paper birds into bronze birds.
Oh,
And now they sit 30 feet up a tree overlooking on Lake Avenue in Highland Park.
oh,
The Owl of Kay and the Owl of Herbert overlooking a ravine and Lake Michigan.
oh. You know, every suburb has a Lake Street,
But everybody does.
Glenview and Wilmette.
Yeah. Washington, Adams, or
Yeah.
usually lake. It's usually close to the lake.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's clever. Well, I want to thank you for coming. This has been so
Just
interesting.
Push the button. Thank you, Joyce, for inviting me.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
anytime you can come back again. If
Okay,
you,
we'll do that.
Okay, so
Thank you.
And it was really great hearing
Thank you.
about all this. Was something different, you know.
Well, it's always everybody's different, you know. But
Yeah,
this is
unique.
for the commonality here. I've been able to, and I thank the art. The art has made me travel.
Oh,
You know, I
yeah.
came into it kind of late in life.
Oh, did you?
Well, you know, like I am.
A little older than your.
Well, I wasn't, you know, like going to art school right out of college. I traveled a lot.
I love to
hit the
travel.
trail.
I was a travel agent. I don't
Yeah.
like to fly though. It goes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Are we
it's really,
finished?
yeah, we're almost finished.
Okay, and so
And thank you for bringing that film. You know, it's
Oh.
best to have seen it because
people ask you, and as a 3D, as an artist, people say, "Oh, what do you do?" And then you start
you
explaining.
have to show
and
them.
you have to
Yeah,
show
and
the
it goes in
image.
one ear and out the other.
Just
Right.
don't get it, and then.